Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Virtually Lost podcast. My name is Julian Cioso, and I'm with my good friend Robert. How are we doing today? What is the news today, Robert?
Doing good. We were both watching the most current Smash Bros. Tourney. Smash Summit 11 going on. Just ended probably about 20 or so minutes. And we're also going to talk about a bunch of announcements that came out for gaming, including some hardware and some actual games that, seem interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess probably the first thing we'll talk about is Smash Summit 11.
Smash Summit. It was actually crazy. I think it was the tightest two sets I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was a crazy grand finals. It was also between Mango and Zane.
Yeah.
So
some of the best. Mango, a legend. Zane, like the new legend, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
It was a battle of the ages for sure. And Mango came out on top. It's great to see Mango win. I think everybody likes seeing Mango win. It's it was just really fun, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because like a common community consensus is that like Marth beats Fox, and Mango actually, who's normally a Falco player, has a Fox and decided to play Fox in against Zane, which was a pretty crazy thing that he actually won FD 2 games in a row.
2 games in a row. That's wild. Because or Mars should take priority on FD, right? That's like
that came from Mewtwo King's era.
Yeah.
And it's just it
was
a bit of a shocker.
Yeah. I mean, this remind everybody, like, this is the first in-person tournament we've had since COVID started for Melee.
Yeah.
So this was everybody getting adjusted to a new playing environment. Playing has been on Slippy or online since COVID started, right? So this is the first big.
This is the first time you could say "see me on LAN" like this, and it really came down to it. You can see the nerves in those sets, like the spaghetti play, like when you're just making mistakes. But it made it a lot more intense near the end.
Yeah,
also,
it made it fun to watch. Yeah,
big prize event.
Yes, it was the biggest biggest Melee pot of all time, right?
Yeah, the winner or the total pot was 154K last time I checked, and so the winner got 45, second got 25, and so on. I think every participant gets some lump of money, but 45K for first place, I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. That's more than my salary.
That's more than mine too.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, come on, man. Can't be leaking that.
Can't be leaking that on here. But yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun to watch. It was really it was just back and forth really good. So I think that's what makes the finals, what makes any kind of sports tournament really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, highly recommend if you don't watch Melee to at least watch the VOD on that grand finals. It's really, really fun to watch.
It was really good. Really
very
good.
Tense.
Very tense. Very tense. And he was Robert was watching it like 5 seconds ahead of me, so I had to tell him to shut up so that I wouldn't get spoiled.
Yeah, you know how hard it was for me to watch the ending of games and just have to be quiet until I hear you react, then I can react. I basically just sit in silence until I hear your reactions on games.
That was good. That was a good one. Thank you for poker
keeping it silent. Yeah. And then a big piece of news, I guess. We'll start with the announcements now that I think we covered Summit, was the Steam Deck announcement.
The Steam Deck, which is basically the Switch Pro, right?
What the Switch Pro should have been.
Right, exactly. But this is coming from Steam, from Valve, right? So is this? No, they've had their VR headsets, right? So this is not the first hardware we're getting from Valve, right?
I believe so. And they also have their Steam Links.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. but this is like kind of, has this been rumored? Was this like talked about?
I had no idea. I hadn't heard
like
of
I might
the
have heard
concept.
something about this. Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything, but there's like three versions of it, like depending on, I believe, there's multiple versions of it. It's not just one version of the Steam Deck. I believe there's three with three different prices. I could be wrong.
I thought it was just. I think it's just memory, right?
Is it just memory?
I think it's just memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it is a handheld device that acts kind of like the Switch, except I'm not sure if it docks. If it docks to the TV, I think it might. Either. Yeah. So it's what it basically is like a portable gaming PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is what we wanted from things like the NVIDIA Shield back in the day.
Oh wow, like, that's the name.
Yeah, like this is really what was being promised. Like your entire Steam library on a handheld device, which is pretty cool. I mean, most people I know that play PC like use Steam, so they're gonna have big Steam libraries, and it's like taking that whole thing on the go. That's gonna be pretty crazy. I mean, with all the games that are on Steam, it's like, it's definitely a dig at Nintendo for sure, and also like it's not really great for Nintendo due to the fact that the Switch Pro was way underpowered.
Yeah, it was very underwhelming. So a lot of attraction got to the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
so much attractions that people missed another announcement that happened the same day, which was Elgato announced that they are having a new version of their Stream Deck. So you can probably see why that kind of fell through. Yeah.
Oh no! People were buying the Steam Deck instead of this.
Yeah, so the Steam Deck got announced the same day that the Stream Deck got announced, and you can see that, you know, one of them clearly fell through in the woodworks in terms of its announcement.
Low key, that was smart on Elgato's part, dude. Getting those like. I mean, they're gonna return them. So
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't think not a lot of people know that the Elgato Stream Deck version got announced because of that. Oh, it completely fell through, is what I'd say.
That's true. That's true. But I thought you were gonna say people were buying the Stream Deck instead of the Steam Deck.
There were problems with the pre-order though because of the magnitude for the Steam Deck.
I would assume so. I feel like that's like every new piece of tech recently has been like horrible to find. Like it's just like the purchase process has been just awful because I mean people are subjected to bots. It's like this. It's like everything.
I could be wrong, but I believe they did something good. Or Valve.
They do like email confirmation or something.
I believe it was email confirmation. I could be wrong if it was this event or if it was another announcement.
But that would be good. There needs to be work done on how you purchase tech like this. It's pretty insane.
It's getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I still haven't gotten a PS5 yet, and it's not like readily available yet.
It's getting consoles. It's getting to computer parts. Graphics
cards are the big ones. That mainly is actually because of Bitcoin mining or something. I heard that's why those get sold out so quickly. But it's pretty crazy. It's insane. And let's dig at Nintendo a little more with the announcement of Nintendo All-Stars Brawl. I mean, this is a game I don't think would get like a ton of attention normally, but it is like a Melee clone. Like, I mean, let's be kind of honest. It is kind of a Melee clone with or Smash Brothers clone, not necessarily Melee, but why people were talking so much about this was the fact that this game is going to have rollback netcode, which is like the programming process that it's used to make lag-free or less laggy fighting games online. It's what most fighting games use, like Street Fighter V or stuff like
not
like
Super
Mortal
Smash
Kombat,
Bros. Right? Ultimate.
Yeah, but specifically not Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because Nintendo doesn't like online for some reason. And this Nintendo All-Stars Brawl is going to be using a better netcode than Nintendo.
It's interesting.
It's very just kind of sad. I don't know, in my opinion, especially because I've known like that Ultimate or Smash Bros. Ultimate is like such a cared for game by its developers. Like the developers really care about the game, but they just, I don't know whose decision it is to not use rollback code. I feel like it just doesn't seem to make sense why they would not go for that. But
I'm very curious about the infrastructure behind their, internet services, to say the least, because I don't know if it's a limitation of the system or if it
doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Because I might be wrong, but there might be like other fighting games on the Switch that are like do use rollback.
I'm not too sure.
I feel like that might be the case. I'm not sure. But we'd have to look into it. But
yeah,
but it's still insane. It's still like kind of ridiculous. At this point. I mean, in 2021, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the All Stars Brawl.
Oh, well, I mean, All Stars Brawl. It's going to be the next Melee.
It's going to be game of the year.
It's going to be Melee Killer. Finally, we're finally going to get a Melee Killer. It's insane. I'm maining. I don't know if I'm going to main SpongeBob. I might main Sandy Cheeks or something.
Nah, everyone's maining Danny Phantom is what I've
Danny
heard.
Phantom. That's true. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Solid pick. Patrick
but
also.
There's actually I believe a reputable fighting game developer working on this game. I believe the company is, so I'd have to, so it might actually be.
It might actually turn out really good.
Yeah, it might actually be a good game.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to hear.
I'm very excited. We're all gonna get it for the memes, at least.
Depending on the console it's on.
Oh, that's true. Have they not announced what console it's going to be on?
I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it. I just seen the memes that came from it, and they were hilarious.
They were pretty good. Yeah, I agree with you for sure.
And then the game that I need to start playing is Skyward Sword Legend of Zelda.
Sword. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I never played Skyward Sword originally. I just heard it like the controls were really hard to handle, at least on the original system.
Yeah, me neither. That's why it's one of the Zeldas I miss. So
right, yeah,
gotta take the time, see if they fix those Wii controls. And
the Wii controls, yeah,
it might be good.
They were really bad. I mean, it's sad. Do you remember like when it was originally announced and like Shigeru Miyamoto had to go on stage and do like the waggle remote, but it didn't work even like on the E3 stage, I think.
Oh,
it was back in the day. It was insane.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy. This was going to be like, this is like prime Wii, this is going to be the Zelda game for the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Let's talk about some Persona, we just got we have a lot of actually kind of news from Atlas. Like we have Shin Megami Tensei 5. Have you heard much about it?
Mm-hmm. I watched the story trailer that they, I believe, showed this week. It was a more in-depth trailer that I don't know how much they showed from the story, but it seemed like it was a lot. So I'm very curious on how I don't know a majority of what's going to happen through watching that trailer. It looks really good, though. That's all I'll say. I'm definitely going to get the game.
Are the Shin Megami Tensei, that like series specifically, are they like linear, like you have to play all the games at once, or is it like more just
no?
They're all
I don't believe so. Some of them may be connected, but I don't believe
they're not like one after the other, right?
Yeah, they might have like similar elements, but I don't know if any of the any of the games are in the same universe.
Okay. Well, talking about the same series, we also have a big announcement from the Persona team, specifically with the announcement of a couple new projects. I'm not sure about the other ones, but the big one, the main one, was the announcement of the development of Persona 6, which is super exciting to me, as Persona 5 is like my favorite game of all time. So I'm very excited, even though it's probably not going to come out until we're like 30, but
yeah, the gap between 4 and 5 was so long.
Yeah,
PS4 or Persona 4 was on PS2, and then Persona
5 was on PS4. Insane. It skipped a whole generation of consoles.
Yeah, they completely skipped PS3. Well, they put PS5 or Persona 5 on PS3,
but it didn't run as good, right?
Yeah, it was not as fluid of a game.
Yeah, fluid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we might have to wait for the PS6 on that one.
Yeah,
for that game.
Oof, that'd be
Oh
painful.
God.
Oh,
I know.
we'll get it next at the same time we get the second Avatar game.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and then one of the series, or one of the companies that's going into gaming, surprisingly, is Netflix.
Netflix.
That was
I've
an
heard
interesting
about
piece of
this. Yeah,
news.
that was weird. So are they talking to trying to do something like what's it called, like Stadia, like an online game service, or is this?
That's what the thing I'm so confused on is
Or are they
how
trying to do like a
it's
Steam kind
running
of thing?
through the Netflix platform, because they hired a former EA exec and also I believe an
Well,
exec that
yeah,
worked.
exactly. Not,
Yeah, I know. And he
not people with good like reputations for sure.
yeah, so
Um,
they're for sure gonna make it some format where they'll make a lot of money. That's all I
yeah.
know is they're gonna get money.
I mean, I guess I can imagine doing like a Steam competitor, but I mean,
It
we
sounds
already
so
have a
odd to
couple
me.
that signed
The only
that
thing I could think of
don't
is
sound
maybe
profitable.
it seems to me like it would be maybe like the Xbox Game
Like
Pass kind
Game
of
Pass,
subscription. But then at
I
that point,
guess.
I don't know what you would run it on. It's just,
Yeah. Um, that's a little odd. Like, I don't know. Are they going to integrate it into the actual Netflix platform? Or are they going to make another separate platform? Or like, and they're going to call it something different? Or
dude, I don't know what games can run on the freaking Netflix app.
yeah,
Maybe like
I
some IO games.
yeah, I don't know. This seems just kind of weird. But
Mm,
I guess we'll see where it's going. I mean, I could maybe understand it if it's like a separate service or whatever, and they're trying to do something like just make their own Steam basically. But
yeah,
or I don't know. I don't
it's
know. Whether
you know
Steam with like a different monetization process or something. Yeah, like a cross between Steam and Xbox Game Pass. Like I don't know.
I'm all up for it though, because if I
More competitive. Okay.
whenever I think of like missing opportunities, I just think of Blockbuster and Netflix, because the whole thing on that was Blockbuster didn't want to move off the DVD scheme
Yeah.
and Netflix was pitched to Blockbuster as a way to move on with the future, but Blockbuster is like, nah, we'll stick with our ways,
Mm.
and I don't know any Blockbuster locations anymore.
True. True. But does that mean that we're saying like something like Game Pass is the future, or like something like Steam is the future? Or well, Steam's already here, but
Well,
initially
I'm fine with
with
companies
innovation, I guess.
taking a risk. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with risking it all rather than just sticking
Yeah.
with
No,
the
that's a good
safe
point
option. And
for
then
sure.
Netflix went on the advancements of Netflix that they've made already with the animes or the Netflix originals
Yeah.
that they have sponsored just so that the show is on their platform only. They're trying to do their best to incentivize this
Yeah.
subscription model that has a lot of competitors.
Have they talked about like opening up a game studio or something to make any like some original games for their platform or anything like that?
No, maybe,
That would be
maybe.
interesting. That would be interesting if they would do
Mhm.
something like that, like open up a studio.
They got the
Um,
money,
they
possibly,
do, they do.
and they have the
Um,
EA staff.
yeah, EA stuff. That's great. That's a great start.
Mhm.
I don't know, but any more announcements? Any other announcements that you're looking at?
The only other thing was tomorrow the Ubisoft is going to release or is going to announce a brand new game in the Tom Clancy universe.
Ooh.
That was just something
I
that
know a lot
they.
of people like Tom Clancy.
Mhm.
Have you played any of the other games other than like Siege?
No, I've only played Siege,
Mm.
and
I think
so
I played back in the day like I think a Rainbow Six game, but it wasn't Siege. It was like one of the older ones for like the PS2 or something.
hmm
Yeah, it was a fun game. But I haven't. I think the other one, the big one, was like Splinter Cell.
Oh yeah,
I've
I
never
saw a
played
lot
Splinter
of news
Cell.
on Splinter Cell.
Yeah, so we'll see. Have they said if
hmm
it's going to be like a Splinter Cell game or something?
No, they have said nothing about it. They just said it's in the Tom
Mm.
Clancy universe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what games
There
that
has been a lot of
includes.
rumors. I know there has been a lot of rumors about a new Splinter Cell game, because of like setup that was being done in Siege or something like that. I think we might have talked about that on the podcast
I think we
actually.
did. I
Yeah.
think you mentioned that.
So it might be that it is a new Splinter Cell game. So we'll see.
hmm And then
Cool.
we also, with the upcoming Olympics, there was a interesting trailer for a short film called Tomorrow's Leaves.
Oh.
And it's going to, I guess, debut on or at the beginning of the Olympics. It has some ex-Ghibli staff working on it. So
has Ghibli made it like any anime recently? Are they still like?
Well, these are ex staff. So I don't
Interesting.
know when they left, but it looked really pretty from what I saw.
Oh, I
'cause
bet.
The
I mean,
trailer
if
is,
it's any staff that's been like hired by Ghibli, I
Mhm.
doubt it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch that at the beginning of the
Yeah,
Olympics.
I'm excited for the Olympics. I don't know.
Mhm.
I always like them when the Olympics come on. So,
And then
I don't
in
know.
2 days, the most important day for me specifically
Ooh,
is Game 6
Game
of
6, Bucks
Milwaukee
and
Bucks.
6
Yes, Bucks and 6 for the culture.
for the culture.
Bucks versus Suns, and it's crazy to see how Giannis is playing because anyone who watched the previous series and saw his injury, where like knees are not supposed to go that way or legs are not supposed to bend that way back.
Yeah.
The fact that he last game or game 3 had a game-winning block, and then
And
this
dunk,
game
right?
had
Like a really insane dunk.
a phenomenal dunk. By the way, I won't say game-winning because I'd say it was Drew Holiday's game-winning steal
Right.
for that one. But it's just like that man is, you know how they say like, or it's just like that man's not. He's on something. That's all I could say. We need a capture test to make sure this guy's human.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
That's
excited.
awesome. Yeah, I mean
I'm
this
really
would
close.
how long has the Bucks championship drought been? Like 50 years or something like that?
It's since we were early in the. It was the year we had Oscar Robertson and Kareem, and I believe that was before Kareem had his name change or before he changed names, and then
shoot.
But yeah, that was very, very long ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cool stuff happening.
I know.
I think
Have you been playing anything?
Have I been playing? I've been playing some Persona 5 Royal actually since the announcement of Persona 6. I want to make sure I finish that. I did. I need to. There's so many games I need to play. I still haven't finished Nier Replicant.
Or Final Fantasy 15,
Final Fantasy 15.
or
I'm never gonna finish that game, my man.
How about DDLC Plus? Did you finish it?
I finished all the. Apparently, I finished all the new content that was added, which was really good.
Oh, okay,
really good. But I'm not. I haven't finished like the whole game as a whole. I should. I'm like relatively close, so I probably should finish that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I
always like play games halfway through and then I drop them, and then I buy new games, and then it's like a horrible cycle.
There's a few games I need to finish. I've been playing Valorant quite a bit. I finally finished my placement games.
See, this is what happens. Like we say we're gonna play all these games, and then we end up playing online games. Like,
well, I wanted to finish my Valorant placements.
Yeah,
because I can't play Apex because I haven't been able to play since the update. So it's been like a month, I would say, since I've been able to play it.
Oh shoot!
And
is it just like the connection issue, or like
I can't even get past the loading screen? There's a little Apex. It's a black screen with the Apex logo in the bottom right.
Yeah,
and it's just there perpetually, so I can't play.
That's wild.
And so I played Valorant a bit. I got silver, and I think I'm done playing the game. It was actually the most like
sweaty,
interesting. No, it was interesting rank experience of. It was a 5v5. It's 5v5, but it all came down to who had the stronger Smurf that would carry them through their game.
Oh, great.
If I had a level 3 Jet that went like 35 and 13, and I was like, all right, this got me my last placement game. But also in that game had the most grief teammate I could ever imagine, where he was just using his ult and his abilities to damage us, grabbing bombs so we couldn't plant it, so we'd have to kill all the defenders. We couldn't plant and force them to come to us. And then they were also shooting their guns while trailing us, so the other team always knew where we were coming from. And I was like, this is grief. I don't have the mentality to go with that, so I think I'm only playing Valorant if I have a 5 stack. It was way too much. The mental went boom.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah,
that's
now
wild.
I can go back to my single player games.
Yeah,
there's
you need to play Mori. You need to play Mori.
Oh yeah, I need to play Mori. I need to play
good. And it's good because it's a short experience. It's like probably a couple hours.
Oh really?
I mean,
okay,
I mean it's
I'll
like I'd say like 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you grind it, if you go like hard into it, you could probably play it in like 2 or 3 days. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good then. Yeah, there's that game. There's the it's a game about I mentioned it before. It was Crow, like dungeon crawler type looking game. I think it's Death's Door. I could be butchering the name, but that's a game that I thought looked cool and I wanted to play.
Oh.
And then I don't know what other ones are coming out. There was a announcement for a few games, but a lot of them were just so far in the future that they kind of slipped my mind. Yeah. Well, when some actual concrete stuff comes out, then they'll get mentioned. Get
excited. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it seems like this week was a little on the short side.
Yeah, it was a bit quiet.
I think I did hear something today. There was already a case of coronavirus on the Olympic. What do they call it? The Olympic. Where they like stay and stuff like that, the camp or whatever. Yeah. So
really?
See how that works out, but
yeah, that's unfortunate.
But
it's such a large event. It's very hard to handle.
Yeah. Well, we hope that everything is gonna go good. I am excited for the Olympics actually. So I hope everything as well.
I'm be honest, Olympics has a secondary place for me right now with the Bucks still in the playoffs.
Oh well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I mean, although they're not at the same time.
When is the finals with the Bucks? When is the last or game 6?
Game 6 is Tuesday. I think game 7 should they need to go to a game 7 is going to be either on Thursday or Friday. I think they might do Friday because that game will be played in Phoenix instead of Milwaukee.
Right. Game 6 is Milwaukee.
Yeah, game 6 is in Milwaukee. They took one from home in game 5, or they won an away game in game 5 against the Suns.
Oh, that's great. Ooh, Bucks in 6 though.
Bucks in 6. It's what I've hoped to happen. It's something I didn't think I'd ever happen because I like the team, but man, they were trash. They were trash for quite a long time.
Yeah. You get to call other people bandwagons for sure now.
I'm completely fine with bandwagoners. I just don't like toxic fans. Man, toxic fans are annoying. Oh, there was during the game there was a Suns fan. So I don't know if you've seen, Giannis takes a long time for free throws, maybe like 10, 11, maybe even 12 seconds.
Right.
And it's become a thing in the playoffs where fans will start counting because you normally have a 10-second limit to shoot the free throw or to get into shooting motion of the free throw. And there was an obnoxious Suns fan who was counting hundreds for every time a second got counted. So he was doing 1, 2, 3, and just kept pulling out hundreds. And it was just the most obnoxious, like cringe thing I've seen in quite a long time. Yeah, and weird. Immediately that he got memed on when they lost that game because that's deserving.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. So people like that, I was just like, yeah, I'm fine never interacting with those kinds of fans.
Let me see, because I think also in the Gold Cup for soccer, USA just won against Canada.
Who is supposed to be the best team in the Western Hemisphere?
If we're talking about like all of North America and South America, we're talking probably like Brazil. For sure, Brazil. Yeah. I mean, technically they just played, so technically it would be Argentina right now because they just won.
They beat Brazil?
They beat Brazil, yeah. So technically it would be or Argentina. But usually it's Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah. For like North America, honestly, it's probably biased because I'm Mexican, but like it's probably Mexico. If we're talking like kind of more of North America or whatever. So that's a personal opinion, but USA has recently been putting a lot of effort. Like Team USA has been putting in a lot of effort into soccer. So you're seeing a lot more investment, a lot more really like a lot more fans. Like there's been more interest in soccer recently. Surprisingly so, because usually soccer kind of gets ignored in the States because we have so many other sports. But yeah, so their team is getting really good. A lot of and a few players are already in the Euro leagues, like the European, like the British Premier League or the Spanish league. So they have some Americans over there already, which is also a huge sign that it's getting bigger here in the States. For sure.
I think that about covers this week's episode.
I think this week is a little shorter, but not.
Before go off, just wanted to let you know, or kind of ask for a bit of feedback regarding the quality of the podcast, because up until episode 10, we were doing a very scuffed situation of, recording audio through Discord and recording that through OBS. And it led to, because I was the one recording it, my audio sounded really good, but then Julian's would sometimes peak because of Discord's limits. So last week we tested Squadcast, and this week we are trying Riverside FM. And most likely, depending on the quality of this episode, it seems like Riverside is the one we'll probably go with. If there's any other opinions, then feel free to, leave a comment on either YouTube or, through Twitter or Instagram. Probably Twitter. Yeah. A little bit of a DM.
TikTok.
TikTok. I need to get that off the ground. I need to get the social medias up off the ground, because I've been a bit slacking on that one. But, we'll worry about it another time. But, any feedback is appreciated. And if this is, the best episode quality in terms of audio and video, just let us know. And
because we already know the topics were trash this week. We had a slow week, right, guys?
It was a bit of a slow week because the quality content this week wasn't this week. Yeah, but the production
last week was
quality. Last week was last week was but the production quality is what we're talking about for this episode.
Exactly.
But yeah,
all right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 12 of the Virtually Lost podcast. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
You forget our podcast name for a second there.
Shut the fuck up.
All right. See you
next week. Bye, everybody.